So your first album was a hit. It sold well, it reviewed well, you hit it out of the park on your very first try. Do it again. If only it were that easy. Join me, Austin Scholl, on Sophomore Slumps, where we take a look at music's most disappointing follow-ups. From Second Coming to October to Fairweather Johnson, we'll give a second chance to the albums from artists who fumbled theirs. Listen in on the Zero Science Network and wherever podcasts may be found.
Be cool, Daddy-O. 'Cause hell is a musical, hell is a musical. Musical, musical hell. Stuck with Travolta and other people that you hate, but you have to do it anyway. Stuck in musical, musical, musical hell. With Lilz and Scott.
Hey, do you guys like bagels?
Wrong show.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
This is an incredible introduction.
Oh, this part should all get cut out.
You guys like hell?
Hi, welcome to Hell is the Musical, where the road to hell is paved with razzmatazz and choreographed intentions. I'm sorry, Lilz. Did you want to do the opening? No.
I think you just did. Wouldn't it be kind of redundant if I just did it again?
I forgot to ask you if you wanted to.
I mean, surely I should be able to get it right this time after you just said it.
Let's see if you can.
All right. Welcome to Hell is a Musical, where the road to good intentions is it's a road.
Oh, my sweet, sweet lily pad. It's almost like we're all going blind.
Is that a reference to something?
Yeah. Our next musical, Valley Girl.
Korn.
So
we did the Korn musical.
Something takes my hand. That's how he does it, right?
Yeah. Getting a little horny on
Wait, let me try it one more time. Bop, dip, dap, dap, doo, bop, Korn.
Does that mashup exist? Because if it doesn't, it needs to.
It must exist.
Maybe we should introduce our disembodied voices.
Yeah, those were the dulcet tones of return guests Christopher Brown and Patrick Berry.
Hello.
Yeah, first time and last time guest Christopher Brown and Mr. Punctual Patrick Berry. Patrick Scott Berry.
Yeah, as I say, my tardiness always makes the heart grow fonder.
You said weightiness.
I said lateness.
I thought you said tardiness makes the farts go fonder. Oh, someone did make it?
It exists.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking
my
at it
God.
now.
Well, after the podcast, we'll all listen to it.
Yeah, maybe should splice in just a little clip for all the kids at home.
Yeah,
I'm probably editing this episode, so I will make a note of that.
Yeah.
Do it as
We'll still be editing this one. Well, because I got broken by last month's episode. Love Never Dies.
What do you mean?
Broke me.
You didn't enjoy editing Andrew Lloyd Webber's B story?
No, I didn't enjoy editing it because you were plowing through the tracks.
Well, yeah, because it's bad. It's really
it didn't
bad.
leave me any room to edit it. Lilz was like, next track, next track, next track. I'm like,
Also, there was like 20 billion tracks on that record.
There were a lot of tracks on that one, yeah. I'm not going to lie, I ended up kind of skipping ahead a little bit when I was during the song part of that episode.
Anyways.
So what are we doing today, Scott?
When does this episode take place? Is this a period piece episode?
Shut up!
1943, if I remember correctly.
Ah, an old-timey podcast.
It's the news of the world. News from the home front.
Oh, God. You two and three.
Oh, Skippy's even doing his part, too. Thanks there, Skippy.
Anyways, we're talking about Lars Von Trier's anti-musical, as he calls it, Dancer in the Dark.
Da-na-na-na-na. What if this was the podcast?
She wakes up in the morning. She can't see anything at all. She's going really blind now. Oh no, Björk fell down. Oh well.
I love John Mellencamp.
Fuck you.
I was a
No,
little
it's
confused.
It's not a Bruce Springsteen musical.
Shit. I watched Blinded by the Light. See, I heard the blind part and I heard Dancer in the Dark. I thought that I thought we were watching the 2019 film Blinded by the Light. But the
I'm
journalist
so
Sam
terrified
Crosby-Manzur.
that he is serious right now.
The Manfred Mann biopic?
No.
Yeah.
Blinded by the Light is actually a really good movie.
Okay.
I actually did
believe
want
you.
to. I do want to check that one out. I did not watch that. I watched the correct one.
Oh, thank God. I was like, I sent the link and everything.
Oh yeah, I watched
No,
it right
we-
on YouTube.
No, we watched Dancer in the Dark, as Scott said, written and directed by Danish filmmaker Lars Von Trier. Stars Icelandic musician Björk as a daydreaming immigrant factory worker who suffers from a degenerative eye condition and is saving up to pay for an operation to prevent her young son from suffering the same fate. I'm reading this directly off the Wikipedia page.
And normally we make our guests give that description, but
Oh,
thank you.
well, phooey.
Just a
Well, there's more to it than that.
a quick aside. This is I'm not asking anyone to change the way they pronounce things, but it's technically pronounced Björk.
Björk?
Yeah, the O with the umlaut is like a short U sound.
Ah, right. Björk.
Technically, it's Birch, because her name translates to birch.
That is true.
And that's why there's a scene in this movie where she's lying on a pile of birchwood.
I've been calling her Crandall this whole time.
She must think I'm a total jerk. So,
My ego has been shattered.
this is the most depressing movie.
Yeah.
Did we watch the same movie? I thought this was a lighthearted romp.
Oh, you sick fucker.
Yeah, this is the one about the guy and his love for the boss. I mean, what was more uplifting than that?
You
It's
clearly
not- it's
haven't
not-
seen Blinded by the Light because that poor family goes through hell in that movie.
I don't like movies where people are sad. This one was an example.
I just picture in my mind that I know how Lars Von Trier talks, but in my mind I just picture him like, "Hello, I'm Lars Von Trier and I'm very sad. People who like musicals are stupid and dumb."
So he's Danish David Byrne.
Yeah.
He sure is. Wow.
Always
So-
hanging out with Danish Brian Eno.
Oh, we did Dogville.
What do you think, Danish Brian Eno? I don't like it. Oh, what else is new?
Technically, Lars Von Trier has made a movie where a house does burn down, so he literally was burning down the house. It's okay, I'm really sad burning down the house. So originally, this movie, he wanted to get musicians to be in it. The role that Catherine Deneuve plays was written for Lauryn Hill.
Interesting.
That would have been that would have made it very interesting.
Yes, it would have. But then, like, the problem with this movie is it's too obvious that everyone has, with the exception of television star of the acclaimed TV show Hack,
I don't
David
know what
Hack
that is.
Morris,
Hey, he
is the
did a
only
little
one who
bit-
has, like, an American accent.
He was also in The Good Son, right?
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Yeah, he was the
Yeah,
dad,
he was
right?
Elijah Wood's dad.
Yeah.
And one of the roles that I always seem to remember him in for some
12
reason
Monkeys.
is in House. On the show House, he was like this detective that was
Oh, yeah.
always fucking around. Like,
Just
Around
never doing
house.
his job. He should have been fired.
no, he was doing his job. That was the problem. He was just like, I don't know, he was just like, always fucking there.
investigating you, House. It's
I don't know, I assume that's what
Detective
detectives
that's always
do.
fucking around.
No, that's what they
I like
do
that.
for work. They just fuck around.
Hey, it's me, detective. He wasn't a detective. He was a private investigator who was hired by the hospital.
Oh well, that's why
Yeah,
he's
right.
fucking
And he-
around.
Any new developments on that arson? How fast do you think I could click this pen?
Once again, he did not work for the police force. He worked for a private investigator hired by the hospital. Guys, I
Sorry.
thought we were on the same house page.
Oh,
we doing
I've only
I thought
seen
we were
like-
on the
Cats
same
now.
houseboat.
I've only seen like 3 episodes of House, and the reason for that is because you can set your watch by the plot points that happen in every goddamned episode.
Also,
you mean it's totally not formulaic at all in every single.
okay,
every single plot
you'll love
opens up
this
the same
story.
way.
A friend of mine was obsessed with the show House, and in college,
Wait, what's House?
What?
What's House?
The TV show House.
Oh, okay. Well, I just thought it was interesting that you defined it as the show House when we were already all on the same page and discussing House.
Yeah, Big Marvin's House. Everyone's
Shut
favorite
up.
hit
My
from
friend
the
was
90s.
obsessed with Big Mama's
First
house.
off, that was Marvin's room.
No, it said Big Marvin's house.
Oh, Big Mama's house.
No, Marvin. I don't know. I'm just making up things now.
Well, Big Mama's House is a legit movie that exists in the world.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
You know what else is a legit movie that exists in the world? Dancer in the
I'm not
Dark,
done with my
directed by
story!
Lars Von Trier.
I listen to all of your stories. I listen to every word you guys say. Now you listen to me.
Yeah, we got to listen to him before he heads off to Tunisia.
Yeah.
I am
I
back.
cannot comment.
We are no longer allowed to talk about that place. We signed
I cannot comment
affidavits,
because
and
I signed an affidavit.
And we have one with your signature. Whether or not you actually signed it is no one's business but your own.
Oh, I'll offer that to everyone. I signed nothing.
I don't know.
McCoy signed it.
Shut up. Anyways, so I was roommates with this kid for 2 years, and he realized by season 5, he's like, oh my God. I'm like, what? And he goes, it's Sherlock Holmes. House, Holmes, Watson, Wilson. Oh my God. I'm like, you're just realizing this?
Ah. Interesting little allegory there, huh?
Well,
Doesn't that work correctly?
I hate both of you.
My cousin Jared had a great moment when he was seeing The Phantom Menace with a friend of his. They were seeing it in the theater for the first time, and after the movie ended, his friend's like, "Yeah, that was really fun. I'm not sure I trust that Palpatine guy." And he was just genuinely sincere about it.
You mean
your
Emperor
instincts are
Palpatine?
good.
To be fair, in the original movies, they never say his full name. He's always just the Emperor.
True. Okay.
But it's the same
still,
actor.
It's the same actor, yes.
Sometimes I just get a feeling, I get a bad feeling from someone.
His voice sounds familiar.
Sometimes I get
can't
that
place it.
feeling.
He just screams shenanigans to me.
Anyways, back to Dancer in the Bjork.
Yes.
So
Dancer in the
Sorry,
Dark.
Bjork it.
So the idea was to have it star Chris. How do I properly pronounce her name?
Björk.
Bjork. It was supposed to be Bjork and Stellan Skarsgård, but he was making the much better movie Deep Blue Sea, or I should say Deepest Bluest. My head is like a shark's fin. And he dropped out. And that's why he has like that 2-second cameo where it's clearly his audio got jumbled, so they dubbed him over with someone else. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
Both films, he plays doctors.
Yeah. So the idea was to have Tom York play that role, and I've been practicing my Tom York impression just for you, Chris. I want to get it right.
All right.
Goody doody, I'm Tom York. I worked with Björk York.
Where did Scott go?
Wait, go back. Don't play a Radiohead single. Do the impression.
Goody doody, don't leave me high. Goody doody, don't leave me
You guys
dry.
all heard it, right? He literally reached over, put on a boombox playing The Tourist by Radiohead instead of doing the impression. Why aren't you doing the impression, Scott?
That's a voice of a generation right there. Wow.
Goody doody.
I don't want to shame someone for a physical defect that they have that they've had since birth, but just like looking at Tom York as a doctor, like, is he a doctor that you would trust?
Good point. Oh, no.
He looks like a bad guy from a James Bond movie. You don't expect me to get for them to pay you, do you, Tom York? No, I expect you to die, Mr. Bond.
It's great too because he's like 5'5".
Well, okay, so
wait,
that's
with Tom
ironic
York
because Rami Malek is like 5'6", and he's playing a Bond villain whenever the fuck that movie comes out. This podcast could be 10 years from now when that Bond movie still hasn't come out yet.
I don't know. We saw New Mutants, so don't give up hope.
So the whole
Are you guys
idea.
excited for Half-Life 3?
Is that the video game with the? What happens in that one?
With the crowbarman?
Is that the one with the little mushrooms and you gotta dance them around until they make patterns?
So Dancer in the
Anyways,
Dark.
Tom York said no.
That was the
Yeah,
correct move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't play an eye doctor. That's foolish.
No, he
Because
was
of his
supposed
eye.
to be Peter Stormare's role.
I don't think he
he's
thought it
supposed
was
to be the boyfriend.
foolish, Pat.
Yeah, he was supposed to be Peter Stormare's role.
Man, how creepy would that have been if Tom York was in that role? Because Stormare has the benefit, I think, of kind of looking like a little, not to
class.
be rude, but a little dumb. And I think there's like a kind of innocence that comes around with it, where in that role I didn't find him threatening whatsoever, and I don't think he was supposed to be. But Tom
Yeah,
York
he
in
had-
that role.
Yeah, Peter Stormare at least looks like, a working class schlubby kind of guy,
Looks
even
like
if
a
his
working
voice
cat.
doesn't quite,
But
even if
Tom-
his voice doesn't quite match
But
up.
Tom York has such a beautiful singing voice. They should have dubbed Tom York over Peter Stormare and played it off that's really Peter Stormare's singing voice for anyone who's not a Radiohead fan.
That would have been definitely preferable to Peter Stormare doing whatever he was doing.
Because I can't stress this enough. Our leading man, our romantic lead, is Peter Stormare. The man who is supposed to have the most...
Pete.
I love when he shows up, he's like, "Hello, Selma. I came to give you a ride."
Every single time he enters the scene, he says, "I assume you need a lift."
I came to give you a ride to Pancake's house.
I was just about to say that.
I want fucking pancakes.
So we're having a lot of fun talking about Europeans here, but can we talk about how much Washington State in this looks like Eastern Europe? It's just great
Because they
and depressing.
filmed in Denmark.
Oh, okay.
Because
really?
Yeah, Lars Von Trier did not want to either leave Denmark or Sweden, so they built Washington State.
I think they were trying to make a point, a communist sort of point.
Okay, yeah, that's why they had to paint the train. Because I saw a note about that they had to paint the train to look like an American train. And I'm like, well, why the fuck
But
did they
it
import it
still
to begin
didn't
with?
look like an American train.
No, it
Didn't look American enough.
It had I guess logos of an actual American company on it, but yeah, no, it was clearly a weird European train.
It looked like a train from a Superman cartoon.
Yeah, now that you're mentioning this little factoid, which I was previously not aware of, in retrospect, I can think of nothing more communist Hail Motherlandy than that part in I've Seen It All, when there's that choir of men singing and
You haven't seen
the Russia Sovietsky.
Oh, the group of men who are singing backup vocals all on an open air car, sitting in it like a bunch of white trash people in the back of a pickup.
Yes, those ones, those very same ones.
Come on, Bjork, we're going shopping.
You've seen it, all other countries have inferior potassium.
This has nothing to do with Bruce Springsteen right off the bat.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
could
it's...
be.
Working class.
I mean, okay,
Sure it is.
What if Bruce Springsteen was the Peter Stormare role? Oh, hey, Selma, I came to pick you up.
Again, another person I wouldn't trust.
Hey, little Selma. Is your eyesight home? Hey, little Selma, is your eyesight home? Did it go and leave you all alone? Oh, no, you cannot see. Dancer in the dark is thee.
Wow. Can you do that? Can you mash up two Bruce Springsteen songs like that?
Neither of which are Dancer in the Dark.
Yeah. Or Dancing in the Dark.
Dancing in the Dark.
Yeah, Dancing in the Dark is one thing. We're talking about Dancer in the Dark, which it's ironic that there's no song in this movie called Dancer in the Dark.
Hey, can I just get a litmus test from around the theoretical room here? What did everyone think of this movie? Just outright, because I want to know what we're playing with here.
Oh, this is one of the most depressing movies I've ever seen in my life.
No. I mean, yeah, obviously it's depressing, but did you like this movie?
I think we'll get there with our rating system at the end.
Oh, okay. No, I just didn't know if we
Hey,
had
Fonzie, don't jump the shark.
I just didn't know if we had any haters, because we can have some fun with that.
The one thing I will say about it, which, I mean, without giving too much away, but it'll probably give away a lot of my opinions on it, this movie was like, after a while, it became uncomfortable for me to watch.
Oh, yeah,
Not
that's
even
Lars Von
necessarily.
Trier.
Yeah, not even necessarily because of the source material, but because you can't fucking hold the camera straight, and all the cuts are just like a really bad documentary, which is great for a story.
Because that's the filming style that Lars Von Trier and Harmony Korine and like this group of directors in the 90s started this movement called Dogme 95.
Oh, so it's an aesthetic. Okay, it's a really shitty aesthetic then.
They have 95 rules, and it has to follow it, and it can't have special effects, and it can't. It has to be made for a certain budget, and like.
Yeah, that sounds pretentious as hell.
Well, okay, so I was telling you all in the Slack chat that this movie was filmed on what is used for news. It's a news camera. It's a Sony. Did I say it was the DSR PD?
That sounds right.
Yeah,
there's something interesting about that film.
This wasn't filmed. This was digital. It was disgusting. I'm a purist.
Well, what do you call it when it's done on digital? Then
yeah, it was lo-fi. It was done on digital tape, not film, and I hate that.
Yes,
but
it's kind of like DAT tapes in the music world. Fuck it.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so it was literally filmed on those mini tapes that kind of look like cassette tapes.
I remember those.
Yeah. So, also the effect from when she is in her, reality versus the music world, all they really did was just change the white balance from tungsten light to outdoor light. They literally flipped the switch.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Now it's a dream. Click.
So
the Instagram filter.
On paper, Lilz, I actually agree with you that it's pretentious as all get out. But when you look at the actual the tenets of the Dogme 95, it lends itself to more democratic filmmaking because people who can afford lesser equipments can make movies that fall into this genre now that or not genre but style that big name directors are doing. So it kind of opens up the playing field a little bit.
Yeah, most of the budget went to get Björk.
Well, I mean, I'm not averse to people being able to make films where, they previously wouldn't be able to due to financial difficulties or those sort of roadblocks. But at the same time, if all the rest of the movies are similar to this in terms of style, I think I just straight up don't like this style. I don't know what. I appreciate that. I appreciate that it's more democratic and gives it to more people, but I still don't like it.
The only good thing to come out of this style was there's this movie called Julian Donkey Boy, where for 5 minutes. Do you know what I'm about to talk about? Werner Herzog.
I have no idea, and I'm so excited.
It's a Harmony Korine movie. So Werner Herzog plays the father of the main character, Julian Donkey Boy, and he's just squirting him with a hose going, be a man, be a man. Julian, you have to be a man.
No, that's a real film right there.
Yeah.
I named my son Julian Donkey Boy as a joke because his life is also a joke.
Man, imagine pitching that film to the, financiers.
I feel like Lars Von Trier. Julian Donkey Boy.
Oh God, that's his follow-up to Gummo. Yeah. This all tracks right now.
So, I just picture Werner Herzog being the mentor uncle to Lars Von Trier. Oh, I'm so sad. Uncle Werner, I'm so sad. What should I do?
Good. Lean into it.
Make a musical. Make the most musical that anti-musical ever did. Go to the top of the mountain and sing like Julie Andrews.
Understand that it's all stupid because you are stupid. But it's okay. I'm stupid too.
I just don't understand why you would make a musical if you hate musicals so much. Lars Von Trier hates musicals so much, hates the art of music. Most of his movies don't really have scores. They have, his later movies do, but, his earlier stuff, this time period, didn't really have it. I think Breaking the Waves was the only one that did. But he doesn't like music. So then...
He doesn't like music.
He doesn't like
so
happiness.
fun personality.
So bizarre.
No, is it that he doesn't like music, or he just doesn't like musicals? Because there's a big difference.
He doesn't like it as a plot device, like a score.
Well,
I
okay,
mean,
that's a little
that's
different
fair.
than. Yeah, that's
I mean,
a little different
I
than
kind of
just.
get that to an extent. I'm really, I'm not huge into musicals myself.
What if he's listening to this right now and he's like, "Oh, he got it right there. I don't like music at all," and then I backtrack and he's like, "No, you totally don't get it anymore."
All right, we'll just kick Patrick off. Sorry.
They do not get it, Werner, and they never will.
Oh, I'm so sad.
Good.
I mean, if you look at all of his movies, none of his movies have happy endings.
Dogville was a bright little ray of sunshine.
Oh, that's the one with the dogs. I like that one.
I'm about to say, are you being serious? And you're going to go, no.
No, I'm fucking serious.
I don't remember Dogville having a happy ending.
It does not.
You fucker. Anyways, yeah, so the movie goes, 45 minutes before an actual musical number starts?
Yeah. So that took me by surprise. And I was like, oh, right. We're doing the musical program as soon as that first song kicked on. Yeah, it really...
Did you think
Comes
we were
out of
doing
nowhere.
Bagel Basket again?
Listen,
This is gonna be good.
Yeah, I was surprised to see it actually go into full on musical mode, because I thought that this was going to be more of a, I don't know, I was expecting it to be a music heavy film, but not to be like a, all right, everyone's going to be singing and dancing sort of musical.
yeah, me neither.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. When like no musicals happened until like 45 minutes later.
Crash, boom, bing! Hoo, bah,
And I will say, for as much as I did not like this movie and found it really unpleasant to watch, I like the music that was in here. I like Björk's original score here.
I too
Yeah.
liked the music.
Yeah,
Actually.
it fucking slapped.
By the end of it, the movie kind of struck me as like a series of really interesting music videos just sort of surrounded by a really unpleasant thing to watch.
Yeah, that was this movie. And the ending, we can skip around. The ending was incredibly depressing.
Yeah,
I agree that it was depressing, but a couple of things completely dulled like the intensity of it for me. First of all, like leading up to it, Seuss gave away the ending to me immediately, so that she could make a joke like, you know, like when Björk, you know, just Björk dies at the end. She gets hung.
Yeah. Oh, the noise!
We'll just say
the noise that
We're
it
just
makes.
gonna say that now.
The noise that it makes is so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they were going to do it mid-song, and they did, and
Yep.
it was pretty unpleasant.
But anyway, Seuss gave away the ending to me, and like she said, she half expected, like, you know, once the thing went down on the ropes, and instead of that creepy like rope noise, she totally expected it to be like,
like a clown horn or
because
something?
the swan
Bicycle horn?
dress,
Oh yeah,
you know, from the Oscars.
yeah.
That wasn't the only thing that completely dulled the moment for me, though, because I watched it knowing what was happening. It happened. It was still, like, pretty intense for me. And then there's that long pan out where it's just quiet and they, like, slowly bring the curtain over. Like, after a couple of seconds of that, I am greeted in the hallway by the sound of, like, let me set the scene for you. Just like, crack, shoo, pan out. God damn it! The sound of my other roommate tripping over something in the hallway.
That's pretty good.
This is true.
What if they just cut to like a wide shot of the people who are watching this execution, and Statler and Waldorf were in? Oh yeah, it wasn't half bad. Yeah, it was all bad. She doesn't have a note to hang her hat on.
Oh boy.
But she didn't see that coming.
Man, she left
Too
us
much?
hanging on.
What a cliffhanger ending, yeah.
Jim, go see a doctor.
We're still he still hasn't gone to the doctor. That dude he's been
To this day.
he's been smoking crack for like the past 2 months for some reason.
I think you don't understand what happened to Jim Henson, do you?
Yeah, I don't think he's gone to the doctor in about 30 years.
Yeah.
Or before that.
Well, yeah.
He hasn't been in 60 years.
He's been crushing aluminum siding into a fine powder and snorting it instead of going to a doctor.
He keeps opening up bags of microwave popcorn as soon as it comes out of the microwave and breathing in the fumes.
He inhales it, throws the bag away, and then makes another bag.
Yeah.
God, imagine if he did really have a habit like that of something just really fucking weird.
Ugh, that's just gross. But yeah, so the reason why she even ends up in prison is because David Morris is, I'm sorry, Chris. Hack is the biggest dick in the world.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, man. He pulls some real
shenanigans.
Real
Yeah,
shenanigans.
he's a piece of shit in this movie.
Well, the thing is,
like,
he wasn't until he was. Like,
that's the thing.
He was a totally nice guy up until, like, he just made that decision.
Yeah,
made that decision to stand still and pretend to not be in the house.
Yeah,
until he
I love that Bjork is like, "Are you there, Bob? Are you there?
I smell you. I still smell you. You smell like bologna."
And he's just sitting. He's just standing there with a double chin, and he's like,
It looks like he smells like bologna.
I ate too much bologna. Fuck.
"Like, how did you not hear him breathing? Are you sure
Yeah,
you're
he
out there?"
Yeah, he was nice until he realized he could steal from the blind woman.
Yeah, I mean, it was super
Classic
weird because...
Morse.
Well, yeah, because...
It's a classic angel devil shoulder scenario.
But the thing is, it was a switch that flipped because he was super nice up until then, and then the next day he's like, "Oh no, like I'm a bad guy now."
He's like, "Get out of my house!"
Wait a minute. What if I stole this blind woman's livelihood?
But then
Wouldn't that be something?
Wait a minute, I get it now. Stealing her blind. Oh.
Anyway.
No, but like in addition to that though, like so he stole the money. Yeah, that's obviously horrific, but he just continued after that. So there was no longer a good person there.
It was a very quick descent. Yeah, the next day, and then was like, yeah, it very quickly escalated into threatening her with a gun. Which she was like, "You don't have a gun?" I was like, "Actually, I do."
And then he's like, "Touch my gun. See, it's a gun." And she's like, "No. I don't know why she sounds like Pop
It could have been a toy gun.
So
what?
What I don't understand at all is when he finally decided that he wanted to die, and he kept begging her to shoot him, and that scene.
Yeah,
I
know
laughed at that scene. That scene was pure comic gold.
I'll be honest,
he's like, "Why don't you just shoot me?" And I'm like, "Because she's blind. She can't see you."
But she kept shooting at the floor. And
that was comic gold. But what I don't understand,
and then she beats him in the head with the safety deposit box.
Yes, she did do that.
I so would have loved that for that to just keep building from there.
Yeah,
that was
like she bashes his head in. He's still not dead. So
she's like,
she
"I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead yet."
God damn it, would you just kill me? I have this knife! No, don't. You're not getting the vital aid! You're not getting the vital veins! I have this
butter knife! Hold on, it's going to take
a really long time! Stab the throat! God damn it!
It wouldn't get that loud. It'd be more like, "Come on, you got to do it! Stab me! Stab me!
That doesn't work, so she hits him with a car.
So what I don't get though
on the second floor.
Yes, from the second floor.
And to prove what a piece of shit he is, he tells his wife that she tried propositioning him when, like, the entire movie, his wife has seen her refute, like, men. Peter Stormare, it's implied that her boss also hit on her in the past. Like, she's been refuting men and saving money. Like, she's been nothing but a good person. What makes this woman think that all of a sudden she's going to be like, "Oh, hack, hubba hubba"?
So, well, that's what I don't get is why he set her up to begin with. I think that's it exists only to push this plot forward, and I think that was actually some pretty weak writing, to be honest.
Also, I love how she doesn't say his name right. She doesn't say Bob. She says Bop.
I think like they were kind of painting her as a bit of like an insecure and like petty character too. So it kind of It kind of clicked for me to see her go
Well,
how
at
to
times
turn
it's
on her
insecure and petty, but then at other times, like, she's treated like she's so simple. Like, she's like
Naive.
Yeah, super naive. And how did no one know that she was blind? Like the way that she was acting when people were talking to her, she was like staring off in a different direction. like, oh yeah, she can see fine, and she's just there with her hands and being like, Well,
and it got worse over the course of the film. Of course.
Yeah, because at the beginning of the movie, she could still read and whatnot. She was cheating on the vision test, but it was implied that it was just she was nearsighted.
Yeah, but this movie is implied that everything happens in the matter of like 4 days.
Yeah, no, it certainly does. I'm not arguing that, but she definitely did start out significantly better than she ended up.
Yeah, like I thought, maybe I just heard like the dialogue wrong, but I thought at the very beginning, I thought she was just like colorblind. Anyway,
Yeah.
So it looks like what she was doing. She was like memorizing the eye chart that the eye doctor has.
Yeah.
So like it's the same one every time. So she was just doing it for memory.
Well, she also had she had a cheat sheet in her purse.
Yeah, that's what the cheat sheet was. Yeah,
it's the one she knows it because it's the one you pick up from Kirkland. It's a Kirkland eye
didn't
chart.
think to like shuffle up those letters every so often.
But the thing is, though, like, why would she have that sheet in her purse if she couldn't see it?
Right.
Well,
So-
she would hold it up close. She was nearsighted.
Well, also,
first.
I think Catherine Deneuve's character was helping her a bit
She was feeding her the letters
because,
No, she wasn't, because she was the one who discovered the cheat sheet later on, and then was concerned about her using the machines.
this movie makes no fucking sense. So, because like, how does she not know that she's super blind when she's in a movie theater with Björk? And she's like, now they're walking, now they're dancing, now they're singing. And there's that guy who's like, shut up! My friend can't see.
Yeah, well, I mean, she was known to be nearsighted throughout. I mean, that was never in discussion. Like, they showed her at the very beginning getting an eye exam for that reason. Also, why was that guy always at the movies when they were?
What if he was just stalking them? I want to yell at these dames.
That's the only way I can finish, is if I yell at these two dames.
Yeah, he lives there at the theater. That's his home.
Oh, that's very good.
What if he was just following Björk everywhere to yell at her? Like, she's singing, I've seen it all, and he's like, hey, keep it down.
The concept of the person living at the movie theater is great. A few years ago, me and a couple friends came up with
there now?
Yeah. Me and a few friends came up with a premise for a sitcom where someone was going to get evicted from their apartment, and they were going to secretly live in their office. And the show was going to be called Home Office. Season one would end with a cliffhanger wherein the employee that was living there and was trying not to get found out discovered that his boss was doing the exact same thing.
That's very good.
Can
and
the
they
boss
have
be
a
played
fight
by
and they have
Peter
to put a
Stormare?
line down the center of the office.
Every day, so there's like he's always finding new and interesting ways to do his hygiene. Take a shower.
Yeah,
How
exactly.
did I know he wasn't living here? We were both showering in the janitor's closet.
This is your side of the office. This is my side of the office.
Eugene Hoots. Hey man, how's it going?
I'm wearing purple. I've started.
I want to talk about the I've seen it all scene when first off, we were talking before Pat came on how she adds like SH, and I was like, yeah, she's like, Jeffs, the train is coming. Don't look. You got to get out of the way, Jeffs. And he's like, oh my god, you cannot see.
No, I can see.
And then she's like, yeah, I love when at the end of the song she's like, of course I can see. Silly, see you at 3 o'clock.
Then he just leaves like okay, bye.
Did any of you get really uncomfortable with how close Björk was getting to that train, like in real life?
A little bit, yeah.
Dude, like I had that same exact thought. I was like, oh my god, this is giving me so much anxiety. I'm waiting for like a pole to just like a rogue pole just coming out on the side of the train to like whack one of them in the face, take their head off.
Or one of those guys on the train could just be a dick and just be like, hey Björk, think fast. Ow! The back of my head!
It's oh so
Slap
quiet,
Peter
isn't it?
Stormare slap Peter Stormare and his little bum.
Can we talk about? I want to read, Lilz, if you don't mind. I want to read your message. As soon as Peter Stormare starts singing, I can tell that that's the part you were watching in the movie because Lilz, she just goes, "Oh my God, Peter Stormare, no!" You haven't seen elephants, kings, or Peru.
That was my
to say I got to go to Pancake's house.
That was my exact reaction as I was watching it too. As soon as Peter Stormare opened his mouth, I just went, "Oh no! Oh no, Peter! No!"
I just
Wake up in the morning.
I just love
I read the news.
all of these.
I
Like,
read the news today. Oh boy.
So I actually know the lyrics to that song. I really like I've Seen It All. I think that's a really good song. But I love how he's like, your grandchild's hand as he holds your hair. To be honest, I really don't. What the hell is wrong with you?
Oh
I
yeah.
just wanted him to start yelling at her.
one of the most
There's
delightful
something-
things about this movie for me is the fact that there are all these standard, let's call them civilian actors. A lot of people who are doing things that aren't necessarily experimental. They're doing not bad work or anything, but they're kind of like on the normal side of things.
They're getting the job done.
But yes, yeah, absolutely. But then they come into this film and they're like, okay, and you have to sing these songs that are written by Björk Guðmundsdóttir. Are you ready for this? So like just seeing all these people having to like dance and act around Björk is so good.
Catherine Deneuve was my favorite trying to sing. I loved her in the Crash Bang Boom, whatever that song's called. I think it's called Scattershots. But in that scene where she's basically like trying to sing with Björk, and then the scene just ends with Björk getting her hand caught in the thingy.
That song was actually called Kvalda.
Yeah, that was her nickname for her in the movie.
Yeah, happy and big. I'm not that big or happy, but why call me big? That was a funny part when her friend there calls her like big and happy. Did we watch the same movie, guys? What's going on?
Well, we did, but we showed up on time, so
Oh, did you guys already talk about this 45 minutes ago? I'm sorry.
yeah. we talked about everything. There will be a separate recording coming out.
All right, cool. This will be
Now-
the way funnier episode because the cool funny guy is here, but whatever.
I love how you're trying to make yourself the Urkel.
Hey, just apropos of nothing, do you all know what the French equivalent of the RIAA is called?
What is it called?
SNEP. SNEP. That just brought me a little joy.
Yep. That's very good.
It's like
so
the biggest electronics retailer over there is called Fnac. FNAC.
we've already been there. We're not doing this bit again.
Oh yeah, well, I did talk about Fnac with you. Hey,
Yeah, you did.
Are there any countries that you want to talk about?
No, legally I can't.
We talked about this. We can't insult the French anymore.
Nope, that's not who we're talking about. We can't talk about it.
Scott wants to go to Tatooine.
No, I don't. First time and last time,
So-
yes, Christopher Brown.
So here's a thought. Like, obviously, we're all on the same page that Peter Stormare singing was not great.
But can we all agree that he had an ass that wouldn't quit?
That's exactly what I was talking about a few minutes ago to slap him on the buns.
Compared to like David Morse, though, would you say as bad
All right.
or
Fuck, marry, kill, David Morris, Catherine Deneuve, Peter Stormare, go.
the singing, not the butt?
No, I think David Morse's singing made me much more uncomfortable. I have to say.
I did not like. I liked Stormare more than him. I'll say that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
No
Yeah,
problem,
I
Dracula.
believed more in Stormare.
Wait, did Peter Stormare ever play Dracula?
I don't know, but that seems like low-hanging fruit if I've ever heard it.
He played the devil in Constantine.
Oh yeah, the Coen brothers Dracula, everyone's favorite.
Carter Burwell's did the soundtrack to it.
Who
Anyways.
else?
Oh my God.
Fucking Joaquin Phoenix. Has he been in the Coen films lately?
No.
He was Dracula.
Oh my God.
He was Dracula.
Peter Stormare voiced Dracula in the Castlevania animated series. He was Dracula.
I want to suck your
You're kidding.
pancakes house.
Whoa. That's not his only Dracula credit then. That's incredible.
What?
He voiced Dracula in The Batman vs. Dracula.
Come on, Batman.
This is
we
good.
go to
This is
pancakes
very
house.
good.
Oh my God, he's really playing fucking Dracula.
So do you think that when Batman defeated him, he goes, "It's not fair"?
Oh, wait. I misread that. I need to read this because this is very good. Peter Stormare did not voice Dracula. It's just made mention of Batman versus Dracula in the article on the Castlevania.fandom.com wiki. I'm going to read this verbatim. Peter Stormare voiced a character called Godbrand. Godbrand is a character appearing in Netflix's Castlevania animated series. He was one of Dracula's generals, a Viking vampire that loves hunting, killing, having sex, and turning humans into boats.
Classic vampire behavior.
Oh, so
Then
he's a
we
boatman.
take the boats and we go to Pancake's house.
I ride
You
you
all
like
forget.
in Swiss Army Man.
You all forget that he was Count Dracula in Bad Boys 2.
That would have been so good if a Bad Boys had Dracula in it.
Bad Boys 2, Dracula now. It's Dracula time.
I love Peter Stormare in 22 Jump Street when his daughter is played by Gillian Bell. And he's like, I don't understand why we don't do the classic drugs. Heroin is a classic. Heroin is an old person's drug. The Golden Girls did heroin. Blanche did heroin. Best line in the entire movie.
And then he said, "Look into my eyes, bleh."
One, Peter Stormare. Dude.
Delicious chocolatey marshmallows.
You garlic, no. Get it away. I do not want that on my spaghetti. What do I put on it then?
Oh, he was in Strange Magic too.
The George Lucas animated
the really
movie?
shitty George Lucas movie that no one saw, and then Lucas sold Lucasfilm immediately after.
So I have this amazing movie coming out called Strange Magic. I got Evan Rachel Wood, and it's not a Star Wars. Okay, I'll just sell it for $5.
I like that George Lucas calls it a Star Wars.
You know that he's the type of guy to call it a Star Wars.
I'm now verifying to see if David Morse has played Dracula in anything.
No, but he played the next door neighbor killer in Disturbia. And he's like,
How many people in Dancer in the Dark have been Draculas?
Bjork?
Has Udo Kier been a Dracula?
Udo Kier was in
Has Stellan Skarsgård been a Dracula?
Udo Kier was in Blade, and he was a vampire.
Oh, so he was a Dracula.
He was a Dracula. Remember, he was... I'm guessing that the only person who has seen Blade in this entire chat is me and Chris.
I haven't seen Blade.
I have not.
I have not either.
So, Udo
You're on
Kier
your
plays
own.
a vampire who is like an old school, like congressman-style vampire who doesn't want to do the new type of killing people that what's his name? Steven Dorff wants to do. So to kill him, they basically bring him out to a sunrise, and they're wearing gloves and motorcycle helmets, and they rip out his teeth and they set him on fire by sunlight.
That's how you do it. That's how it's
Oh,
done.
boy.
And
That's how
his
you
last
take care
lines
of
were,
vampires.
"I can't die like this. I was in Ace Ventura."
Wow, Uldrich Novi was played by Joel Grey.
Yeah,
That Joel Grey.
yeah, that was so weird that Joel Grey randomly shows up and he's like, "Because I was in musicals, I won an Oscar for Cabaret." Na 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 na
Oh,
na.
he was in Cabaret. Now
He won the
weirdly
Oscar for
recognize him
Cabaret.
that.
Yeah, but was he a Dracula, though?
So basically, what happens is Bjork has daydreams where she's in a musical, while at the
She
same
can't quit
time
'em.
she's in the local production of Sound of Music, which for a second I was like, that doesn't add up because the movie of Sound of Music came out around this time. I totally forgot it was
Oh,
a play.
yeah.
It was a play musical before it was a musical.
Yeah. That's why it became popular enough to turn into a film, I guess, because
Yeah,
people liked it, the musicals.
and she's been saving money so that her son can get an operation, and basically keeps it in like, what type of tin was that? Was that a cookie tin?
It's a Dansk cookie tin.
Yeah, we talked about this recently, Patrick, didn't we? Those weird cookies in the blue tins.
Yeah, the Dansk cookie tins, and like, grandmas keep their sewing supplies in there.
Yeah.
What the hell are you guys talking about on Old Man Yell at Cloud?
Hey, we're talking about grandma's
certainly not music.
cookie box.
Actually, Lilz, I think you were part of that. I think we were talking about that on Slack.
Oh, yeah, but that's possible. But I definitely remember it in an episode of Old Men Yell at Cloud. I think that might have been what spurred it on, though.
Anyway, those are the only types of containers that you can find in Denmark, so that is why, it was filmed on location there.
Yes, Denmark, the land of Dansk cookies and Lars Von Trier, and that's about it.
So basically, she's been saving all this money. David Morris has financial troubles because his wife is a vile spendthrift, and
A vile spendthrift.
Wow.
and
She's
now
such a fucking consumer.
That was in Lars Von Trier's first draft.
this movie was originally called Dancer and the Vile Spendthrift. But so he's like, my only solution is to steal money, and isn't he like the chief of police of the town?
Something like that.
He's a police
No,
officer.
I don't know that he's a chief.
Yeah,
or
no, he's
anything,
just
but
a
I
police
feel like-
officer.
Oh,
Yeah, I
he
think
was
he's
the
just
chief
like
of
a
police in
cop.
he was the chief of police in Crazy in Alabama. Him
Yeah,
and
he's a former
Meatloaf.
police officer in Hack.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's a TV show where he solves crimes as a cab driver on the streets of Philadelphia, which is another Bruce Springsteen song.
There I was, 1987.
Oh, what a night!
Bobby York, she cannot see.
Looking for a fight.
Got my wretched head. I'm looking for a fight.
There, David Morris was yelling at me to shoot him, and I'm like, hey, I can't see you because I'm blind, because I'm Bjork.
I'm looking at the situation going, what am I supposed to do? I'm just Bjork.
So there I was, with a giant safety deposit box, bashing his brains in, and I couldn't believe it. There he was, guts on the ground.
Best part of it all, I was blind as a bat. You wouldn't even believe it. Can't see a goddamn thing the whole time, but oh boy, I could smell it.
I like Patrick's
bologna.
impression there because it's starting to go into Peter Falk territory. So I'm just thinking of like Columbo, like, oh, one more thing, and then I took the
One
safety
more
deposit
thing,
box
Bjork.
and I bashed his
Suppose
head
it-
in until there was blood all over the place. It was a goddamn bloodbath.
One more thing, Bjork. Suppose it that you was saving money. And suppose it that David Morris, Hack, was just standing there in the doorway breathing heavy. You went to sleep, and then when you woke up, all your monies were gone. For some
One more
reason,
thing.
he's got a safety deposit box.
One more thing. Have you ever been close to a human and human behavior?
Why is your version of Peter Falk Gilbert Godfrey?
What
I don't
one
know.
more thing. Have you ever been married, or would you describe yourself as a bachelorette?
Did anyone
This is
else
Bjork
want
talking
Gene?
to herself?
So
Well,
Bjork's
it's Peter
son is
Falk
named.
coming from the grave to talk to Bjork, I think, at this point.
Did anyone else want when Gene? Anytime her son Gene was mentioned, it to be Eugene Merman?
That would have
Or
made
like
things
Gene
so much
from
better.
Bob's Burgers? Yeah.
That's Eugene Merman.
Yes. That's
That's
the
still
same
Eugene
person.
Merman, Pat. Come on, Mom. Why can't I have a bike?
This is me now.
No, I like the idea of it being a blatant adult. Like, that's very funny to me. And I'm
It's just
oh,
Eugene Merman as an
everyone's
adult.
treating him like he's 10.
Mom, I'm going
I-
blind.
I think he's like either the same age or possibly a little bit older than Bjork, too.
But he still has like a little Lord Fauntleroy outfit on with like the little hat and a big lollipop.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, yeah,
big-
it's like,
big strawberry blonde curls.
Well, it reminds me of I was talking to a bunch of you about watching North by Northwest recently, and in it, the mother of the main character is like 8 years older than him in real life. It's insane. This is not without precedent to do this sort of dumb thing.
Well, did you know that in A View to a Kill, Roger Moore was literally the same age as Tanya Roberts, rest in peace, as Tanya Roberts' mother? and that's how he
Sounds
knew
about right.
I can't be James Bond anymore. This isn't right.
That actually made me think of fucking Boardwalk Empire too, which was like Gretchen Mol plays what's his name is the mom for
Michael
that
Pitt.
kid who's like Michael Pitt, who's like I think in real life they're only like 10 years apart. I
The
mean, on
year was
show, they're supposed to be, like,
1931. Oh, what a night! Michael Pitt is really 21. Gretchen Mol is also 31. There I was on
Bjork
the
murder.
Boardwalk Empire with Bjork. There we were singing with Peter Stormy.
Well, it turns out she was like 13 when she has them in the show or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's terrible.
Well, thanks for killing
anyway,
that.
Let's talk about
So Bjork kills David Morse and immediately disassociates.
Yeah.
That was odd.
she'll murder will do that to you. I would say.
I love all of her musical
Goes into
numbers.
a musical song number.
That musical number is basically him being like, "It's okay that you killed me. I don't know. Gotta drive my cab to Pittsburgh."
One more
did
thing,
what
I
I
just
had to
gotta
do.
clean myself up.
And basically, it's implied that he was secretly in love with her in that song. Like, in her crazy Bjork mind, she's like, "Oh, he was really in love with me. He wanted to give me smoochies."
I don't think that's far off. I kind of got that impression throughout. It wasn't really hinted at, but the way he played the character kind of made it seem like he was into her, but, was at that point in his life a good person.
For 5 minutes.
Until,
And then the
that she
movie
had
took
money.
a turn.
Yeah.
But, the one thing we didn't talk about is how Bjork goes in and out of a British accent on top of her Icelandic accent. And like, out of nowhere, it's like, "Oh, Gene, why would you do that, bruv? I need to spend my own 5 quid.
One more thing, governor.
Now Bjork is Peter Falk.
Peter Falk is Bjork, I think is a better way to put it.
It's so quiet."
Oh my god. I want that Time Life collection of Peter Falk sings the hits of Bjork.
The Bjorks. Peter Falk sings the Bjorks.
Or
That
he
sounds more
just
like
does
Robert Loggia.
Oh,
That's because my Peter Falk sucks.
This is Robert Loggia.
we were talking about this on Bagel Basket Pat and I. Do you remember the old Minute Maid orange juice commercial with the kid who's like, "Come on, Billy, you need to drink your orange juice," and he's like, "I'm not going to do it. What would you do it for?" Maybe if Robert Loggia asked me to, and Robert Loggia just shows up and he's like, "Come on, Billy, drink your fucking orange juice."
First of all, why was he having such a trouble drinking the orange juice? Like, that's a pretty, universal
That's your
enjoyed
question.
beverage.
Why
Orange
is
juice
this
is
8-year-old
delicious.
boy obsessed with Robert Loggia?
I also think it was bold of them to include a hard F-bomb on a commercial.
What'll it take to get you to drink your Minute Maid? Maybe if Bjork said so. Hey there, little Bobby. One more thing.
Hey,
You're not
Billy.
Bjork.
This kid
You're not
loves
Bjork.
an
Wait a
officer
minute,
and
you're not
gentleman.
Bjork. You're just Peter Falk in a swan costume.
What are you talking about? Of course I am.
You're smoking a
Penis
cigar and
is a boy.
Excuse me, Bjork.
That was
your
one of
eye
hers,
fell
right?
out.
Yeah, so with Peter Falk here, what are we thinking? Are we thinking it's a ghost? Are we thinking what's left of his remains has come out and is now ghoulishly trying to be Bjork? Like, what does this character look
Maybe
like?
he's a Dracula.
Yeah, maybe.
No, I think that, like in Wings of Desire, he's actually an angel, and he decides to be an angel again.
Oh, that would be pretty good.
It could be argued that he was an angel when he was alive, too.
Sorry if I missed this earlier, but just looking at the cast listing now, and there is Angry Man is cast. Michael Flessis.
That's
plays Angry Man.
That's the guy in the movie theater.
guy.
The movie theater guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you wacky
I
dame,
got
keep
kick out
it
of
down. I'm trying to watch the freaking Busby Berkeley musicals. First off, why is that guy at a Busby Berkeley musical?
Alone.
Yeah, he's alone at a musical. Like this, if they were watching like a Hitchcock movie or like The Thin Man, it would make sense that he's there. But why is he at a Busby Berkeley musical alone?
In like Podunk, Washington State somewhere.
Because Angry Man has multitudes.
Because I can't go back to them jerk-off theaters anymore. I got kicked out.
It's 1963, sir. Those won't exist for a while.
I'm from the
not
future.
allowed in Seattle anymore.
I got my gravity boots.
If I squint, I might be able to get there.
It's one of those Minority Report situations. I went back in time because they won't let me in the future no more.
I'm like Guy Pearce from Memento. I'm a memento.
If I squint enough, I can make Freddy's stare look like a boob.
Speaking of Minority Report, wasn't one of these guys in Minority Report? Oh, fucking Peter Stormare.
Yeah, Peter Stormare was. No, remember, there is sandwich in refrigerator.
Speaking of Peter Stormare, after Björk disassociates, he just picks her up and takes her to music practice as though nothing happened.
Yeah, I love how he's like,
he
oh
takes
no,
her
you
on
got blood all over you.
He takes her on an errand first that is pretty important.
Yeah, where she meets up with Udo Kier.
You know, Udo Kier, gotta say, that man is like a slightly more beautiful version of Terrence Stamp.
He's like Terrence Stamp with a facelift.
Yeah, basically. Udo has played Dracula.
Oh.
In
thank God.
1974. And then he was in Dracula 3000 in 2004.
Where he played Dracula 2000.
So he's a double Dracula.
Yeah.
Dracula in the future and then Dracula in the Age of Disco. I love that one.
Disco Dracula. Coming this
Come
fall
on,
to
everyone.
NBC.
I bite the neck of hippies. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Hey, John Travolta. Hey, what's up, Dracula?
Oh, their blood tastes filthy.
The blood tastes like cocaine.
Yeah, they say they try to bite into Barry Gibb's neck and it's just straight cocaine.
Hey, what are you doing, Dracula man? Why are you biting on my neck?
What you doing on my neck?
You should be dancing.
Hey, I'll ask you a question, Mr. Dracula man. What was it like working with Björk?
Speaking of Björk, she gets taken to musical practice by Peter Stormare.
And basically,
With a sting.
yeah, he's like, yeah, get the director's like, yeah, get the fuck over here, please. She's here, and
News
she's like,
traveled
I
fast,
really
I
got to
guess.
be going. I got to leave.
Yeah, you do.
Actually, no, I gotta check on my son. I suddenly don't want to tap dance anymore. No,
And then-
no, you totally do. It's in
Then
your
we
heart.
get
It's all you
another
wanna do.
cut short musical number.
Ah, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, she gets carried out by the police.
Yep.
Yep.
Taken
Good
to
old
prison.
Stuart Copeland carries her out.
The drummer from the Police? Oh,
Yeah, the police. The police take her out.
Yeah, sorry.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Well, because Sting sounds like David Morris.
Oh, it was a police sting.
So she gets taken to court.
And like the
doesn't
biggest
go well.
kangaroo court, it's like the biggest kangaroo court.
Well, I mean, it's the 60s, and they suspect she's a communist, so of course, like, they're not going to give her a fair
Yeah,
treatment.
it's about the, the sensitivity reminds me of like the Memphis 3. It's not,
I'm your
it's
prosecutor,
not,
Joseph R. McCarthy. Is it true that you said that communism would be better? Yes, of course I did, but I mean, the musicals here in America are better.
Now take a look at Selma.
Ralph?
All she listens to is Metallica, Judas Priest,
Black Flag.
1964.
Hey, did you know that the swan dress has its own Wikipedia page?
Yes,
Really?
I did know that. One thing we didn't talk about is, did you guys do any research on Björk's relationship with Lars Von Trier?
Yeah, he seems like a real grade A piece of shit.
Yeah, not just
Yeah, that's
that,
what I've heard.
but because he was a grade A piece of shit, every morning she would go up to him and go, "Hello, Mr. Von Trier, I despise you," and spit on him.
Wow.
Oh,
I didn't know it was
I'm
that
reading
bad.
that right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
like, if-
Jesus Christ.
There was an interview with Catherine Deneuve. They asked her about it, and she's like, "Yeah, it was really bad, but I was only there for like 5 scenes, so I didn't really think much of it. I went sightseeing when I had my days off."
So I'm looking at this and obviously not making light of the subject matter, but it says like,
And this is another
in
part that we're
October-
probably going to have to cut out.
No, like in October 2017, Björk posted that she had been sexually harassed by a quote Danish film directors she worked with, and I'm just picturing like Lars Von Trier being like, "Oh, that could be anyone." like that doesn't narrow it down.
Oh no,
like,
she's not referring to me. She's referring to the pastry.
Referring to that other Danish director. Who's the guy who did the Independence Day? He's Danish, right?
You know, the Danish film director, Dane Cook.
Yeah, he's pretty Danish.
You're thinking of Toby and Roland Emmerich, Pat, and they are German.
Roland Emmerich. He's German. Sorry.
Well, it's they call German the Denmark of Western Germany.
It's
that doesn't make sense, but
Denmark.
Wow, Chris, are you pulling this out of your ass? Yes,
No.
yes, I am.
So she gets sentenced to death because she's a communist, supposedly,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that
and
makes them mad.
I love
The
how
court
right
appointed,
away, her security guard in prison knows that she's innocent. Siobhan Fallon from SNL, who every time I saw her, I just thought of SNL introducing her, and Siobhan Fallon! And she's like, "Don't cry, Bjork, because I'll start crying."
Siobhan Fallon, Bjork, David Morse, Dracula,
Adam Sandler,
Jimmy
David
Fallon.
Spade,
Not related.
and
one
musical
more thing,
guest
Peter
Tom
Falk.
Bjork.
a train full of strange people.
A piece of toast.
Bjork saying "Crash, Boom, Bang."
Bobby Moynihan.
A pond full of bloody clothing.
And a cartoon by Robert Smigel. Saturday TV Funhouse, Bjork.
And the kid is going to go blind in about 12 years. If I don't
With
get him this
musical
surgery.
guest Peter Stormare.
I believe the band is called Peter and the Stormers.
And now your
And Third Eye
host.
Blind.
And now for your host, the Royal
Catherine
Dance
Deneuve.
Kin.
Jeff.
Jeff. The comedy stylings of Jeff.
Where were we?
Another 5 minutes of
in
silence
prison,
that you
got
all missed out
sentenced.
on.
She got sentenced. She goes to prison.
And then, like, Catherine Deneuve is like, "Oh, you had a shitty lawyer. We'll find this money that you used for the operation for Jean and pay a lawyer." How did they get the money back from Udacare? Because, like, no doctor would be like, "Oh, here you go. Here's that $2,000 cash that she paid."
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that just straight up wouldn't work without like some kind of signed consent form or something, and that just obviously didn't happen.
Also, they had a secret password. And I love how Peter Stormare figures it out. He's like, "Do you have a reservation for Selma?" We don't know that person. "How about Novi?" "Oh, right this way, please."
Did anyone else notice the time that Jeff actually scored and was able to give Bjork a lift? He like pulled out a bouquet
He didn't
of
give her the
flowers.
flowers.
But they were like dried up. I think he'd been saving them in there for like that day. When she
I think every time he's offered her a ride, he has had that bouquet of flowers. "Oh, it's been like 40 years. I probably should have thrown these out."
If his pickup truck just had like a bunch of like rotting flowers in the back of it. Like
Today's the day. Today's the day I finally give her my ratty, disgusting truck flowers.
Trust this in a book. It will be beautiful. I know it smells a bit.
One thing that we didn't talk about is how she's yelling at Jean for missing school, and Peter Stormare's like, "Hey, maybe you should go easy on him." And she's like, "You fucking stay out of this!" And then, like, she's like, she's like, "Oh, hello, Jeff. So good to see you." And like she goes from like yelling at him to being like, "Oh, I'm shy now. Bye."
I remember that. Yeah, she can go from mousy to shrieking pretty well. She flips that switch.
So Chris and I are members of this film group, and they said replace a movie, keep one actor, replace everyone with Muppets, and I said Dancer in the Dark, keep Peter Stormare, but everyone else is a Muppet. And here's who I would replace Björk with. Prairie Dog from Sesame Street.
Oh my God.
Do you know who I'm talking about? The reporter, the one with the little blonde wig and the...
mind.
One of the many, kid Muppets used in the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one. Wow. Been there since 1971. Oh, and she died in 2015. Okay.
I don't think she
kill
died.
a Muppet?
I don't think she died,
It
Pat.
says it right here, 1971 to 2015. She's dead.
Well, to kill a
woman
Muppet,
off.
you need a silver knife, and you need to dip it in holy water.
That
What happened is Prairie Dog was at Studio 54. It was her and Cher.
To Kill a Muppet by Harper Lee. That's the new one that she released.
My father always said that I could shoot all of the Blue Jays I wanted, but never kill a Muppet.
Good stuff. Educational.
My question was, would anyone else want to see this movie with Peter Stormare and the Muppets?
That'd be pretty
I
good.
would.
I think Bjork would Muppet pretty easily to use it as a verb.
See, I'm gonna go with Joel Grey as the one human and everyone else is a Muppet.
Oh, actually, you know what would go really well? This would go down real smooth if just the angry guy at the movie theater was human and everyone else were Muppets.
God. He would look increasingly more insane because like the musical would also, all the film footage would also be replaced with Muppets.
Dun, 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 dun. Phenomena. Boo doo 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 doo. Phenomena. Boo doo
Now
doo
they're saying
doo.
phenomena. Now they're dancing. Now they're capering around a bit.
Now what are they doing?
Will
Muppet
you broad
version
shut
of
up?
Catherine
I'm just
Deneuve?
trying to watch these Muppets dance.
The only
Can't
way
you
I
see that
can
her
get
Muppet
off.
eyes have been pulled out of her head?
So Bjork never gets the lawyer.
Yeah, because
She tell.
the lawyer's like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Because you're gonna die." And she's like, "It's better than rotting in prison. You stay out of this." Oh, hi, Jeff.
Listen, my fee is it's a weird amount. I know it's $2,056.10, but your buddy there came up with it somehow, and I don't know. I need it to buy my eye surgery. Oh, imagine if the lawyer needed eye surgery.
We all need eye surgery. We're all going blind because of this factory.
I thought you were gonna.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna go somewhere like way more boring with that, and just be like, "Yeah, I need that to get groceries on my way home tonight."
Really
You have
expensive
fucking lot of
groceries.
groceries and
I'm going to Whole Foods.
I need $17,000 worth of groceries in 2020 money.
Were those in 1964 yet? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about, Chris. That like the money was like $2,000,
Yeah.
but in modern day money, it was like $17,000. David Morse stole from her.
Yes. And then he was just like, "Oh yeah, I'll pay you next month." Yeah. Okay.
I love how
whatever,
nonchalant he's like.
wimpy.
He's like, "It's no problem.
You will not pay
I'll
me
pay
back
you
for that
next
burger,
month."
you asshole.
But he's so nonchalant about it. He's like, "Oh, it's no problem. I'll pay you next month." And she's like,
dude, I'll Venmo you. I swear.
And also, back then, how much did houses cost?
"Houses cost about $2,000." Like,
Oh, he never actually bought the house. He's like told the bank, "Yeah, the house is mine. No worry, you're getting the money." Okay, we're just waiting on your money. Yeah.
All
yeah,
we- at
go
this
get it.
point, all we need you to do is sign the paper. Yeah,
you're
any
looking
day
at
now,
Washington
any day
State,
now.
right, Chris?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
While you're looking that
median
up,
price for a home was around
Okay.
$20,000 total. So he had taken a tenth of the entire cost of the house. That's like a down payment amount. That's insane.
Well, not just that, but they've owned that house forever, and she's been renting from them for like 5 years.
Yeah.
So that
but
house
she
should have been paid
spends-
off by then.
But
Well,
she's gotta
also-
buy
It's
all
just
those
because of that
dresses
wife
and
that you
stuff.
don't like, Scott, the one who keeps shopping.
I believe it was a vile spendthrift.
A spendthrift, yes.
Oh, spendthrift. I thought it was
Vile
spendthrift.
spendthrift.
Vile spendstress.
She's a vile seamstress. All she does is make dresses all day long.
She's a seamstress, a vile seamstress. That's good.
Her
So
and
Bjork
Robert Loggia just drinking orange juice.
I'm just gonna stop trying to keep us on track at this point because it's a fool's errand.
Well, okay, so then she basically dies. They bring her to death row and she's hung.
Well,
she's hung.
And before that, she's informed that her son has had the surgery and it was a success.
Yeah, there was no way in hell they would let Catherine Deneuve go all the way up to the hangman's noose and be
were you paying attention to this operation? Because it seemed real sloppy from where I was sitting.
How was it a success?
Sloppy.
Well, what they did is they took these crochet hooks and they put them into his eyes, and then they just, spun it around a little bit, and now we can see oopsie poopsie.
That's what we get for going. That's what we get for going to Dr. York. Sorry.
Yeah, he'd be a little bit more
with his vision
docile.
in the first place.
The last musical number of this movie is her singing a cappella, and no one else is like, what the fuck is going on here? Because, now this is reality. Now she's just... yeah. I would love for them to just be like, we can't hang her yet. Why? She's singing. Is there a band there playing? No, she's just singing.
She's singing a cappella.
Well, this is 1963.
Hang her.
What's a
Good
cappella?
God, I hate acapella.
Hang her
Okay,
before she forms a group.
Yeah.
Wait. We can't
forms
hang her yet.
pentatonics.
Barry Gordy said he's going to come and give her a deal.
Okay, the song's over. Now, do Blue Moon. No,
Okay,
she's singing some more. We gotta wait.
Halfway through the song, they just hang her. They just hang her, and then they put the rest of the song lyrics on the screen.
That's what I
That
thought
was
they did.
odd, yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing that really just makes you go, deep?
Cool. Thanks, Lars Von Trier.
Cool.
And, the lyrics were kind of not that great anyway, so maybe we should have just left
not
them
really.
No, they were fine.
So do we want to get into the tracks, Lils?
Right. As you mentioned, there's the Selma Songs version, but that's not the one that plays during the movie. So you got that IMDb page you linked me to. First up, we got Overture.
That was weird because, you could faintly hear lyrics, but nothing. You had to really listen because it was like music, and you just heard na na na. It almost sounded
I don't think there were lyrics. I think it was just. It was just vocalizing.
Just a bugle.
Yeah,
she's vocalizing because then we got into raindrops and roses and whiskers on kittens.
Right. It was just kind of novel to me that it had an overture because that's not really a thing movies do anymore.
Well, to get Björk, she's like, is this going to be like a real musical? I don't know why she's going into Barry Gibb. I'm Björk. Here I am.
So after overture, we got the factory song, Kvalda. Which I thought that song kind of ruled.
Yeah, but out of nowhere, she just starts going crash, bang, boom. And, they're like, oh, yeah, I guess we're singing now. We know the lyrics. Crash, bang, boom.
Yeah, and, seeing that whole sort of sequence happen, after seeing that and, the entirety of Dancer in the Dark really got me to realizing, okay, this is where every bad impression of Björk came from.
Oh, yeah.
Really. This is where it has its origins.
That's exactly true. Bruv.
Cause.
After that is I've Seen It All, the Academy Award nominated song.
The man you will marry, the home you will share.
To be honest, I really don't care.
Do you know what this lost to? I think this
What
is
did it lose to?
It lost to Bob Dylan's song from Wonder Boys.
Fair. Fair.
Oh, that song. Okay.
Chris, did you just say fair?
I did.
Are you lying?
I've not heard the Dylan song, but I assume that it's fucking horrible because it's by Bob Dylan.
It's basically what Pat was doing. It's like, these Wonder Boys and doing on the street. Michael Douglas, Robert Downey Jr. sleeping with Tobey Maguire. Wonder
Why
Boys.
Michael Douglas there? He's not a boy.
My favorite Bob Dylan vocal fry is "Entangled Up in Blue," where it sounds like he's actively being pulled away from the microphone.
Wait, I want to sing some more. I picked the wrong day to row a boat while recording a song.
Oh boy!
But
so after
I
sorry.
loved "I've Seen It All." Did anyone else have? I thought this was the best song in the entire movie.
Yeah, that was a really good song.
It was very good. It was probably my second favorite.
Yeah,
The Tom York version's better.
Probably my favorite.
Really?
What about China? Have you seen the Great Wall?
All walls are great if the roof doesn't fall. And the man you will marry, the home you will share.
Yeah, I didn't realize until seeing the movie that they literally used a train, like a literal train, as percussion, and I thought that was just so cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, yeah. And, yeah, the percussion aspect, there were a lot of cool things happening percussion-wise. There was that one, was it in the musicals or maybe 107 Steps, where they sample foot's scuffing and they pitch.
That's 107 steps.
Yeah, that was probably 107 Steps.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So in this song, and I've Seen It All, I totally thought one of the lyrics was, "My parents were so shy on their very first date," and I looked it up. My pants were so high on my very first date. I have no
Great.
idea what that means.
Thanks for that tidbit, Bjork.
You think that's a euphemism for something?
I don't know, but my parents were so shy on their very first date makes more sense than the other one.
Means Bjork is rock hard.
It's me, Peter Bjork.
So after I've Seen It All, we've got Smith & Wesson. That's what it says here. I think that's just the Selma song's equivalent of the song. That's the equivalent.
That's
On Selma
Scatterheart.
songs, that's Scatterheart. Yeah.
I don't know what to do. Everything just feels so wrong.
Everything is fine. Just stay strong.
Yeah,
And that's the song that's her duet with
David
Morse's Corpse.
Yeah, that might actually be my favorite song on this. And there's two synth basses happening in it. One is doing a traditional, very low, heavy synth bass thing. The other one is doing this abrasive sort of thing, and it's so fucking cool.
I just also love in the song that his now widow is just on the porch swing. Just swinging. You killed my husband? Good for you.
That happens.
That's one of the fun things about the musical scenes in this, is that they're all entirely taking place in her head. So, yeah, you can have completely nonsensical things like that happening.
I have a brain worm. What if that's what this all was? She's going blind because there's this giant dune-like worm in her brain just eating.
That's a big old worm.
After that,
I saw Kyle MacLachlan have to tackle it.
Yeah, Kyle
he's a big
MacLachlan's
guy.
in her brain too.
He's a big guy, so Bjork's head must be enormous.
After that, after Smith & Wesson, we have In the Musicals Part 1 and Part 2. This song is not broken up into two parts on Selma songs.
Why do I love it so much? What kind of magic is this?
It's just called In the Musical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's basically the multiple different parts of her singing while waiting for the police.
Yeah. And, well, in the courtroom, it's Joel Grey also tap dancing.
Oh, yeah.
How come I can't help adore you? But you were in a musical.
I didn't mind it at all, that you were having a ball.
Right, I forgot that was happening there, too.
Yeah. That song was fine.
I don't know.
I mean, like...
Yeah, they were fine.
To me, the only, like, real two good songs were, the Hack song and
I don't know what
I've
that
seen it
means.
all.
I don't know. I really liked Kvalda, too.
Kvalda was pretty good.
Guys, what's Hack?
Are you being serious right now, or
No.
Only the greatest
Will
TV
keeps
show
asking.
ever.
if you want to talk
asking your
about Hack, you've come to the right place.
Too bad, because we're talking about Dancer in the Dark. After that...
Hack.
We are
No,
the Hackett
no.
brothers.
After
It's
that,
time to shine.
goodbye.
Wow. Okay.
So after that comes... After In the Musicals Part 2 is 107 Steps, like we already alluded to.
31, 35, 38, 42,
43, 44, 45, 46,
48.
And that's nothing. It's just counting. And like a dick, Bjork is doing what Buzz McAllister did in Home Alone, where what's her name is counting to help her, and she's just like 22, 61. Like she's just saying random numbers, not in
She's going in order.
Yeah.
She's singing.
Kind of.
Yeah, she's singing the numbers that are being said when she starts singing.
At one time, she says 63, and what's her name is literally still on 59.
Okay. I mean, she's going in order, at least. It's not like she's trying to fuck her up.
She's crazy, okay?
Oh, interesting. I didn't get that from this movie.
That was first time and last time guest Christopher Brown, everyone.
I don't remember this one. After 107 Steps, it says next to last song.
Yeah,
Which one was that one?
That's the last song.
Was that the one that she was singing while in the noose?
Of course you are near, and now there's nothing to fear. Ooh.
Yeah, that's the last song.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was New World.
They're the same song.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, immediately following that is New World Overture, which is, incidental music, I'm sure.
Living is seeing, I'm holding my breath in wonder. I wonder what happens next. A new world, a new day to see.
So next to last song is the song that she's singing, and then the New World is what plays when they pull the curtain, and then the rest of the song.
Yeah, and then my roommate Seth trips over something and goes, "God damn it!"
I love that part.
There's 3 more listed here, but they're all from
Sound of Music.
Sound of Music.
They're all stupid.
Like
I almost said Secret Garden. That wouldn't have been right at all.
that's another Bruce Springsteen song. Secret Garden is another Bruce Springsteen song. She let you in her house. So that was Dancer in the Dark.
Yes, it was. Yes,
or
it certainly was.
Dancer in the Fog. Peter Falk.
Yes.
Did you ever hear the story of Peter Falk playing at a celebrity baseball game, and he swings and gets a strike, and he's like, "That was a ball," and the ump's like, "Can't you see?" And he takes out his glass eye and he goes, "No, can you?"
Yeah, he was drunk at that, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but that's definitely a good rumor to spread.
The estate of Peter Falk just sues us.
Yes, actually, speaking of drunk celebrities, there's apparently a video of the actor who played the original Herman Munster drunk.
Fred Gwynn?
Yeah, Fred Gwynn, as he's at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in like the 60s or something, and he's visibly intoxicated during it. And I need to find this video.
That's probably a good place to be when you're drunk.
Darn. So we have a rating system here. A good musical is hell of a musical. Bad musical is hell is a musical. And meh is Purgatory Pete's Razzmatazz Factory. What do we all give this?
I guess I personally will say I'm having a hard time like deciding between Purgatory Pete and like Hell is a Musical, because I recognize that it's not technically a bad film, but I did not enjoy it like in the slightest. It was unpleasant. Like as I mentioned, I don't like that style of filmmaking. The only thing I really got out of it was the music, which I did like. I'm going to err on the side of Hell is a Musical with this one.
I'm going with Purgatory Pete's Razzmatazz Factory. It's fine. The music is so catchy that like I can forgive it.
I liked it. I dinged this movie for exactly two things. The plot devices that led to the end of the film I thought were very weak and underbaked and could have used another draft of the script. So I definitely dinged it for that. And the other thing is that it was just too long. The plot of this film did not justify its length.
It's 2.5 hours.
It's 2 hours 45 minutes. And they could have easily cut out 30 minutes of this film.
Wait, the version we watched was 2 hours and 25.
Oh, okay. Well, I watched it on Amazon, and it was 2:40, I believe.
Ours was much shorter.
I watched the 2.5 hour version, I guess.
Yeah, it's on.
Yeah, what does Stella think of this movie?
She thought that this was hell is a musical.
But yeah, overall I liked it. It was a difficult film, probably not one I'm going to watch again. But it's Lars Von Trier. It's not going to be like a lightweight watch. We're not watching Police Academy or something like that. So you got to work at it a little bit.
Imagine if this was Police Academy.
This is 7. Yeah.
So yeah, overall, I liked it. It's not perfect. I thought Björk was actually pretty endearing in it, and yeah, it was mostly good.
How about you, Pat?
I'm giving it a hell of a musical. I'm kind of right there with Christopher, where it was a moving watch, and there were a couple things that made it like disorienting for me. I think I thought it was interesting that like after a while I got used to the cinematography, but at the very beginning of the film it's super disorienting.
Yeah, it's very jarring.
And like almost I wasn't sure if I was watching the right film or if this was like a shot of the press conference or something, and the title card looks all like weird and shit and cheaply done, and then after a while I figured it out that this is the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, that opening was supposed to be her eye deteriorating in the overture.
Because she's blind. And then later when they introduced the music, that was kind of felt really awkward as well. But then like after a while, the musical numbers made a little more sense. So I don't know if that's a result of things being half-baked or just those were, stylistic choices. But I was here for most of the stylistic choices. I thought the kind of choppy editing made it more realistic to me and more like I was sort of watching I was like watching it in real time, and like sometimes the dialogue didn't quite make sense in context and you kind of had to like figure it out from the scene, which I thought was, I don't know, I kind of like when movies make you do that a little bit, I guess.
When the fuck did Pat become a bigger film snob than me?
I know, like I'm an idiot, so I just like what I liked, and I mean, I don't know. Maybe
but you just gave like this very artistic answer with like, I like the cinema verite, I like the editing. I'm like, you're stealing my thing, man.
Cinema verite.
I like the mise en
verite.
I like the mise en scène. I like the mise en place.
I thought Björk was a good
I
actress.
like the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, I was very upset that she didn't get nominated for an Oscar for this, but Laura Linney did for You Can Count on Me. Like, I was looking at the actresses who got nominated over Björk, and like, no, that was a travesty. Hi, Stella.
The dog's back. I thought she did great.
Send in
some
the
of the
dogs.
some of like the crying and shrieking that she was doing was just like bone chilling, and
I think that's just because she was miserable on set.
I mean, that probably could have very well been too. Which, you know, reading about that now, I'm kind of feeling a little more reserved about my assessment. But no, it's difficult. It's a challenging watch. But I thought like the art, the artisticness of it kind of is what ended up winning it over for me. And it's good music too. I like Björk. She's all right.
So thank you both for doing this again. Okay, Stella left. So
this is fun. Thank you.
Now the real podcast can begin.
But yeah, so Lilz and I just want to take a minute to talk about because of COVID, there's a lot of like local businesses and co-ops that are not doing well. And here in Massachusetts, there's a place called Mill Number 5. There's some really great shops there.
Yeah, it's basically they took an entire floor of one of the many abandoned. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is 2 floors, but it started out as 1 floor, now it's 2 floors of one of the many abandoned mills that are around the Lowell area, and just sort of turned it into like a place with shops and cafes and independent businesses and things like that. There's a record store, there's an independent theater, there's a musical instrument shop, there's a coffee house.
There's a vintage clothing store called Victory Garden. The movie theater's called the Luna. Like, if you can go on Instagram and, you know, add them or follow them, do that on Twitter also, it would help them out. And Lilz and I are all about giving local businesses some support.
Yeah, I haven't been back since the pandemic started, and like it's just really bums me out that like that they're probably not doing very well in this, like, currently.
I went yesterday. They're doing all right. Everyone's masked. They have strict guidelines. There's so many rules in place now where it's very safe for you to go. But like, help them out. Reach out to them. See if you can help them in some sort of way. So, yeah.
Do you guys want to plug anything?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll plug our other program that Lilz and I do together, Jukebox Zeros. We're picking up the second half of season 4. It's season 4, right?
Yeah, it is
I
season
kept
4.
saying 3 for a while.
This is coming out in February, so by that point we'll be back in the groove doing new episodes again.
Yeah, so we're back doing that, which is a lot of fun. And yeah, check out my solo album, Patrick S. Barry. Check it out. It's called 20. It's available on Spotify. But, go to Bandcamp and buy it, of course. Or fucking go to YouTube and rip it. I don't give a shit.
No, you do give a shit. Go to Bandcamp.
All right, go to Bandcamp. Pay the money.
Go to Bandcamp.
Pay the nice man.
Pay that man his money.
His money.
Okay, Malkovich. Chris?
What about you, CB? You want to plug anything?
Yeah, Patrick and I do a show called Old Men Yell at Cloud that you can check out. And I am also on another show called Nickelbackin' that is out of hibernation for the moment, but it kind of goes in and out of hibernation frequently. So, we just put out a new episode, so feel free to check that out.
And
it's like when Tool releases a new album, you guys really got to wait, make us wait for it.
And
hopefully it's
we
good.
need to get back into the groove, Chris, with our project.
Yeah, maybe when it's not like dark out at 4 p.m. every day, and I don't like just kind of hate the world. We can consider working on a project.
I feel that.
Yeah,
this is a tough time of year.
So I also have Writer's Bagel Basket that people can check out on Instagram, Twitter, etc. Lilz was just on. Chris is always on. Kat shows up.
Never on time, but I do show up.
Well, as long as you're willing to admit that, you get to go to bed with nothing but dessert.
Nothing but dessert.
Yes.
Seriously, thanks you guys for both being on the podcast again.
And
No
Of
problem.
course. of
Very
course.
fun.
we're doing another episode this month to cleanse our palate from this very depressing film. So what are we doing, Lilz?
We are doing the musical version of Valley Girl.
Which that's available on Amazon Prime that you can watch for free if you have Amazon Prime. I will hint that it is so bad that it's good. Like, it's like The Room, the musical.
All right.
Oh boy.
So yeah,
Watch it.
well, until next time, just remember, the dancer in the dark knows it all, but the Björk all alone is very sad.
Because she's blind.
Yeah.
I can't add anything to that.
With Lilz and Scott.
Zero science.